are those things? Go!
Stay close to me. I'm your best chance for survival.
Alright, so in my travels, I always try to look for anything that would be a good starting point for a non-gamer into the Halo franchise, because I love the story to Halo. I would not say I'm a huge diehard fan, but the story to Halo is really awesome high concept science fiction. And so I'm constantly looking for anything that would be a good entry point for a non-gamer, because there's a lot of people that they just aren't into video games, and they're missing out on a lot of really awesome stories. So I'm always on the lookout for stuff that's non-gaming related, so that it's like, hey, look, I like this series Uncharted, and I think you should see this short film to kind of get an idea of what the story's like. I know you're not into video games, but this short film is amazing. You know, kind of stuff like that. And so when I found out that they were doing like a live-action Halo 4 web series called Forward Unto Dawn, I kind of was interested, but I thought, yeah, no, it's not going to be anything interesting. And then they edited it together into a single-run movie, and it's like, okay, I will give it a try. And it's not a good starting off point. I'm going to get into it now.
It's a whole new war. You okay? Go! Chief!
Drive!
Mayday, Mayday. Forward unto dawn. Immediate evac 117.
Play it again, please.
Okay, so one of the reasons why it's not a good starting off point for new Halo fans is because of the Halo 3 and 4 references. Those are a good chunk of references to Halo 3 and 4. And case in point, like the ending, if you've never played Halo 4, will kind of not make any sense. But that being said, it's not the worst starting off point either. It's just a lot of stuff is expected to have prior knowledge. Like when they finally do a certain incident later in the show, I was excited because I knew what was happening. It's like, oh my gosh, we're finally getting it. But someone who's not familiar with the Covenant or the Flood is just like, what's going on? What's happening? And so that's the issue. You know, this is made for fans, okay? People who have experienced the games. And even then, it's not great. But I'll hold off on that for a little bit later. One thing I do want to point out is the production value on this web series was impressive. Seeing a Warthog made practically drive up and like an officer get out of it was like, I mean, Warthog is a very iconic vehicle in the Halo franchise, and yeah, no, I absolutely loved it when I saw a practically made Warthog just drive up. It's like, no, they did a good job on that. The academy they're at, it felt like an actual military academy. It didn't feel like sets were being made, and so the production value was very nice for this web series. But the issue is the story, okay? It's not quite Ender's Game, not like the animated movie Halo Fall Reach, but it's pretty similar to Ender's Game. Basically, you have an academy, a bunch of cadets. There's this one cadet, Lasky. He's not fitting in. He doesn't want to do things anyone else is wearing, you know, teen angst. You know, he likes this one fellow cadet of his. It's just like, we've seen this story 100 times before, and I don't need to see it again. When on the cover of the movie is Master Chief. Like, when's he going to show up? Like, when is anything going to happen that's exciting? And, you know, then finally, the movie gets good. I don't give a rat's ass about any of the cadets, but once the Covenant start attacking, the movie starts getting good. And the movie really gets good when Master Chief shows up. Alright? And, like, once he shows up, like, that's it. It's like, okay, I'm buying this because we get to finally see Master Chief life-size, practically done, and it's awesome. It's amazing, and I am so looking forward to that series coming out in 2022, unless they only have him show up like a couple cameos and it follows more human stories. Look, if you're doing a Halo series, I don't want to see the more human stories. I want to see the Spartan stories, okay? I want to see Master Chief. I want to see super soldiers. I want to see aliens. I don't want to see more personal human stories in the Halo series. I'm sorry I went on a tangent. I'm getting back to this one now, okay? This one had more personal human stories. I didn't give a shit about any of them. What I wanted was Master Chief, and when I got Master Chief, I had a fun time. The problem is, you don't get Master Chief until the last half hour. So the first hour of this web series is just you having to deal with these cadets bickering with each other, and, you know, like, oh, I don't want to do this, oh, I don't feel like I belong, oh, I'm 17, I have my entire life ahead of me, I don't give a shit, okay? And what's sad is this is the closest thing we had for a long time to a live-action Halo film, which is unfortunate because we had so many close calls of getting awesome people making an awesome Halo movie, and fortunately, to make a Halo movie, it's not going to be cheap because it takes place on different planets and in space. It has, you know, giant planet-sized alien world rings and whatnot, and so it's like, that shit's not cheap. And another thing is that non-Halo fans are not going to gravitate towards this film. I was hoping it would. I was hoping this would be a good entry point. It's a pretty good thing for diehard Halo fans, though, because it does give you a nice little backstory on Lansky, who does appear in Halo 4 and 5. And so if you've just played Halo 4 and 5, it's just like, oh, okay, so he's kind of the new commander. And with this, you kind of see, like, oh, he does have a personal connection to Master Chief. That would explain why he goes rogue in that one segment. And that would explain why he was willing to disobey orders here, here, and here. Because, you know, Master Chief saved his life when he was a cadet. So, that being said, I think this is a good film for Halo fans, but no one else. If you're not a diehard Halo fan, you might want to keep looking for something else that might intrigue you into the world of Halo. Anyway, more Halo content is coming, and I'm Christopher Collin with 11 Hour Reviews. Don't forget to, you know, do the thing. And that is all.